good evening. Welcome to Rangersradio. Join myself, Foxshire, on the show tonight. It's the Mitchell sisters. How we doing, boys?
Not bad. What about yourself, Peggy?
All right, Roxy. Good morning.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. And it's good to be on the night with the big man. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
How we doing, Southside? How we doing, Big Stevie? How's Big Stevie?
I'm brand new, mate. Brand new. Under the circumstances, we flying trip to Belfast yesterday. And one of my good friends passed away. Apart from that, everything's dinky do in the McPherson household.
Oh, did you get back? Did you fly over? Get the ferry over?
Oh, no. Over.
Over. All right. What company did you fly back with? Carry on. Southside, how are you, mate?
I am brilliant, mate. Aye, fine. He's bad, isn't he?
Oh.
Aye, mate, good. All good in the hood.
All right. Well, obviously, it's been unusual at this time of the year, and there's sort of 3 weeks. But do you think it'll be a good thing or a bad thing for us with a couple of new players coming in and players coming back for injury? Gives time to get their players fit, no games. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, or do you think you'd rather have games on a Wednesday? Southside?
I think it gives him a bit of time to work with the players now, sort of formations and systems. Just make better what we've seen. And I think it's good the fact that we've got a bit more competition now with some of the players coming back. 2 new additions are certainly going to have to get game time and have been, as Cantwell has, and hopefully we'll see Raskin now get lots more game time. So I think it's all positive, folks. It's good. And I think this time, Michael Beale gets the chance to work with the players during the week, and I think that's a good wee break now.
What about you, big man?
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if the break getting no playing on a Wednesday is a good thing for us. I like it when we're Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, or whatever, Thursday. So I think we're a good team when we play week in, week out, every couple of days. I really do. But the one thing is, it gives Mr. Beale time in the training ground to get things sorted out. And, to the same time's a healer. It lets us get our squad back together, done it, and get a bit stronger. And I can see a lot of camaraderie in the squad. And I think the 2 new signings have given us a lift up.
Do you think so? Do you seriously think they have given us a lift, mate? The support of the team?
Both. I think both can't. I really do. I think it's given us a lift. It's certainly given me a lift when Cantwell get signed and then we got Raskin, and it gives me a wee bit of a lift. Some new blood in there. We needed it. The midfield, man, all woman in a pushchair was walking by that midfield at one point. So it's good as a lift, mate. Bit of legs in there, bit of legs.
I know you're a leg man. Southside. We've moved these boys in. We don't know how it's going to pan out. Your first impressions, we can't judge Raskin, but your first impressions on Cantwell, now we've seen him take part in 3 games.
I think we can see what I said the first time I saw him, Mox. I think he's got good balance, he's got good vision, he's willing to run and work hard for the team. And I think you can see that he can set up goals. And I think that's what was missing for our sort of midfield when you played the sort of, like, the Kamara, Jack Davis or whatever we were playing, even Lundstrom, Jack Kamara. We've got a player now that we've got in that midfield that goes and runs and commits players, looks to play 1-2s, full of energy. But the thing about it, he's got good vision, he's got good balance, and he's intelligent for what we're seeing at the moment. And his fitness isn't where it should be. So I think he's going to be an absolute great player for us going forward once we get the team all firing.
My first impression, Stevie, is that his touch is very good, and he passes the ball, he runs, he's a worker. Yeah, that's my first impression, Stevie.
Aye, you can see what I've noticed about him. He's very comfortable on the ball. He's always looking up, always looking up when he's ball. And as Southside touched on, the boys I mean, I don't think he kicked a ball there for November, and he looks pretty fit as he is now. But once he gets that fitness right up, I think we've got a player in our hands there. I really do. He can tackle. He looks up. He looks comfortable in the ball. He can pick a pass, and he's got pace. Definitely, we've got a cracker there.
All right, so your initial reaction for Beatty is ticking the box for the recruitment. Is that fair, Southside?
Aye, obviously we've only seen him in the three sort of games in that, but he was obviously a sub at Tynecastle. But aye, you can tell sometimes, Oxford, you can see a player when he first comes in, and you can see that he's got what Stevie said, and we've all agreed that he's got everything we were looking for, different in our midfield. Mm-hmm. So I think it's all positive, as long as he stays injury free and he doesn't get whacked. But apart from that, bundles of energy, plenty of enthusiasm, and he looks a right good player, and I'm glad we've managed to sign him.
Aye, the injury thing's just about luck, mate, isn't it? You need luck now.
Aye, I think sometimes he looks like he takes a wee extra touch in that. Sometimes I noticed that, and I'm just thinking sometimes he might take a whack, but I think now he's looking good. He's really looking good, and like we say, he's nowhere near the full fitness that he knows that he can get to. So it looks positive for us, Ox, to be honest.
Okay, you've said it's given the lifter team, Stevie, but you think it's given the supporter lift as well? What's your rationale there, mate?
I just think we've all been screaming about the midfield, didn't we? We really have. We've not spent really any money for a brave while on that midfield. We've spent cross-border fees, 50 grand, freebies, and I think the two boys coming in has really given the Rangers fans a wee lift. We've been crying out for somebody in the midfield, a bit of pace, let's be honest, and that boy looks as if he's got it. So how would the no-gees a lift, Ox? I just think it is. Me personally, it's lifted me anyway. Once the boy Raskin got in, I thought, that's two good ones, that's two starters. This is the two projects we've brought in. This is two guys that hopefully going to hit the ground running. So aye, for me, it's give the Rangers fans a lift.
Okay, right. I mean, there's a big story about the other sign in Southside. I don't know how we're going to deal with it. He soaks.
I know. That was shocking, wasn't it? Shocking. He seems he's going to rectify that, he says. But I seen a thing that Kitman tweeted up. It was sent to us, and you can get like the full soak and then this 3/4 soak, and there's players actually just cutting it down to a wee bit and all that. And it seems a bit mad, even cutting holes in the back of their socks. And I don't know what that's all about, but I think Raskin, when he settles in, I think we've bought a guy who Michael Beale knows is going to go in and play in the first team, and I think that's what he's alluded to. He's made sure that we managed to get him, and I think we're going to have to see him, and I think he's going to be in his team. He signed him. He's not here for to be an ornament. He's got to get in the team and get games. Same as Cantwell, fitness will be pretty much off at the moment to a point, because I think he didn't really kick a ball much before the World Cup, or since the World Cup. But if he shows a level of fitness and the training that we're managing today, and we could probably get some fitness into him, Stevie, during the week, because we've not got the games, we might put some 4-minute runs into him and stuff like that, and just work up his fitness. So that would probably bring him on, and then it's just about getting him in the team. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him play at least a good 68 to 90 minutes when he can do 90, but hoping to see him at least do a good 60 minutes in a Rangers jersey, and let's see what he's about, Ox.
Unusually, then, if we accept your argument, you would say that the two of them will start on Sunday in a cup tie. Usually when you take some of if you're saying they're going to be a big part of our team, usually the kind of players that would be rested, big man, eh?
I would think Raskin starts against Partick Thistle.
And Cantwell for fitness as well.
And Cantwell will play, aye. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't play. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not exactly been winning a lot of trophies here, have we? It's not like we've been winning them regular, and you might put out you might change your team a bit, and you could lose a game in the cup. This cup's important, so we need to get a strong team out there. But I'd expect Raskin to be in the team and starting on Sunday.
Yeah, an hour tops.
I would like to see if we get a good hour up, if it's getting any more in his tank and the manager wants to see it, fair enough. But if we could see a good hour, it'd be good to see.
I don't think he'd much better than that watching his cameo on Saturday, Stevie. It was blowing.
Aye, they're talking about his soaps. He'll just need to find place. If Jimmy Bell was there, he would have the red and black on for the Borough of Govan, so he would have. But the boy will sort that out, no problem. For me, he starts. For me, the two of them start on Sunday against Partick Thistle. Minutes and legs is vital for them for this League Cup final coming up. And I'd be playing the two of them for the start. And if the two of them could give you a full game, then keep them on for the full game. That's how I see that. Let's be honest, they've been rested a full week. I know apart from training, but so they've had their rest. Play the two of them, get minutes into the legs and get them gone for this League Cup final. And see, just as Southside was saying there about the World Cup, it just reminds me there, I'd just like to congratulate my big pal Lee Calvin on his book. He brought a book out. He's a bear, a season ticket holder, big English fella. And he brought a book out from Belgrade to Buenos Aires, football rivalries on a cheap budget. It's a bit of a boy. He's been to all these different rivalries and he's just explaining his trips and stuff. And for a football fan, any football fan wants to take something on holiday with him to lie about the pool. It's a good wee read. So I'd like to congratulate Big Lee on his book. And any of the bears out there, he is a bear himself. He done it all off his own back and he published it himself and everything. So well done to Big Lee, and enjoyed my talking to him on Aer Lingus coming home last night.
Belgrade to Buenos Aires, yeah. Football.
Yes. It's on Amazon. Anybody wants to buy it, it's on Amazon. It's only £5.99, £6. A good wee read. As I said, anybody going on holiday, yourself, to a bit of literature where you lie about the pool and read it,
Aye, fair play to the boy. Not an easy thing to do.
Did you say literature? He's usually reading these court papers.
Hey, behave, they're live now.
That was quite a big one, but well, aye, but it looks a good read. Interesting to get some of these thoughts. And he's a bear, Stevie, yeah?
He's season ticket holder at Ibrox. The boys, one of us, and as I said, I was at a wee funeral yesterday, and the boy was there, and he was plodding about the same graveyard as me, so you can use your imagination.
All right. So, right, Stevie mentioned the League Cup final and Raskin. There's been a bit of talk. I don't think I thought he looked miles off it in Saturday, fitness-wise. So we don't know what the boy is, but that could look completely different with a week's work, and then he gets a game on Saturday. So the following week, we've got a bigger game. Well, within 2 weeks, we've got a bigger game coming. What's your rationale?
I think if we can get a level of fitness in him, if he gives a good 60 minutes Sunday, then we play Livingston, didn't we? And then we've got them in a final, haven't we? Is that roughly about right, timescale?
That's it.
Aye. So, I think if we could get fitness and that into him and that, then I don't see why he can't go in and play in the cup final. We bought him, haven't we? And I think there's no reason, as long as his fitness is up, I think Michael Beale can start him. Why would you know?
Stevie?
I'm going to stop talking about the final. I never got a ticket off my jails. I'm greeting. I went out the day and bought one of the one jacket fits all. I'm going to have to try and sneak in again. Unbelievable. The boy, listen, as we're talking about Partick Thistle there, if we can get minutes into the legs there and then get them out against Livingston, why would you not have them in the team? Why would you not? These boys were bought to start. So you're wanting them in the team. Your midfield, Raskin, Cantwell and Tillman. What a midfield. And then you can swap it up, with the boys that are already there. Let's be honest, you only get so many minutes out of Big Looney and he's breathing, isn't he? So Kamara's an engine when he wants to be. Well, he'll need to fight for his place now. I can see a difference in Kamara the last few games. He's come right onto a game. I wonder why that is. So, definitely, the midfield's looking good. They're all fighting for positions, but the new boys, Get minutes into the legs against Livy and Partick Thistle, and let's get them ready for to play the dark side, man.
So you think that'll be my midfield in the cup final? Tillman, Cartmill and Raskin?
Aye, why not?
Interesting. Southside.
I just think if we can get fitness, well, you'd like to think he's going to play him above bottom, and I think he looks.
Raskin, aye, but I think there'll be a mix and match, mate. I think there'll be, there'll be a mixture. Listen, if the boy comes in, that's a ground running. I see it. He's his player. He's brought him in, does a job. Yeah, he's fresh. He's no fear. He's young. Yeah, but surely he's got to earn that right to play in that game.
Well, you can say you earn your right, but at the end of the day, the manager will make a decision, and if he thinks that he's up to speed and he wants him to go in there and do the job that he knows he can do, at the end of the day, all these players that we could name Lundstrom, Kamara and Jack, and say they deserve their chance. I've had plenty of chances against them. Plenty. No, it's time and Tillman. I'll say the now. I think Tillman. I think he plays. I think we've got to play him, and I think this could be the time when he absolutely does the job. Now, he's played against him before a few times. No, really showed up, as we know. Happens. He's still a young boy, but I think his time's ready. And I just think if Raskin's fitness is up, then why could we not play him in the midfield?
Right. Okay.
I'll give you something that happened. Well, if you remember, I mean, you're saying about earning your place. Well, I'm just going to talk about this. Kurt Broadfoot played for Rangers and he never got played in a cup final. He got dropped, but he played in every game. And up to the cup final, he got 3 Man of the Match awards. But he still didn't play in a cup final, which he thought he would have, and probably should have, but he didn't. So some players will maybe think they will have earned the right to play in it, but we've brought him in to do a job and play for Glasgow Rangers. He's a Michael Beale player. And if he's up to speed, I don't see why we don't put him in the park.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Stevie?
I agree with Southside for the first time, I think, ever. But, if we can get the boy... All the next couple of games, we're going to look at the boy Raskin, aren't we? And we'll make our minds up then, won't we? Whether he's going to start or no against him. But let's be honest, the boy Tillman's no played great against him, but I've got the same feeling as Southside. I think this could be the time where now the boy knows what he's up against. He's got a bit more confidence, a wee bit more fight in him, as in running back and fighting, gathering the ball. I've seen that in him in his game. He's getting better at it. And it's took him a bit. He's only a young pup. He's only 20. And I think this could be the cup final. Every one of the boys will fight for a medal. And I think this could be the game for Big Tillman. So you can't trap him in the form. He's on the new. He's on a run, isn't he?
I don't think it matters what you do. As a manager, you trap players, bring them in. It's all about winning. Cup finals, Southside.
Well, 100%. And we need to get the marker laid down. Ox. Let's no be kidding on, but I just think, like you say, I don't see the rationale. If his fitness is good, I don't see why you wouldn't play him. That's what I'm saying. Why we've flung other people in before in the past. We've seen it all before. Players have went in and have not performed. Joe Rebo done it when he was here. Didn't he perform against him a couple of times? No, I didn't even play against him sometimes. Didn't he start? He get took out. But then the penny drops and you start to get into it and then you start terrorising him when he played, so Raskin's no at that level. I just think if he's got a level of fitness, he looks like a good player that Michael Beale wants in his team. And I think it wouldn't be a problem risking him wise to put him right in the middle of the park as long as his fitness is good. That's what I'm saying. And I think Tillman against them in the finals a no-brainer. I heard the show a few days ago, and nobody had them in his team. I respect everybody's opinion, but I think Tillman plays in the cup final and all.
All right. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right. Well, we've got the Blues brothers. We think the midfield will be in the cup final. Be Tillman, Cantwell, and Raskin. Interesting. Give us your thoughts. Come and join us. Well, could be. I think the two of them are young. I mean, there's a couple of games to go yet, and Raskin's fitness, we'll see how it goes. But you're right. Two of them are Beale's players, Southside, so he's bought them to play them. Yeah, that's what he said. No fillers.
Well, why should they have loyalty to any of these players?
Oh, never. No, in fact, the team he thinks going to win. But
that's it. And if he thinks that he's got a good injury in him, I just don't see why. I just don't see why he doesn't play him. You know, Cantwell. Slightly, I think I think if Raskin doesn't play, I think Cantwell will play. I wasn't sure if he'd play the two of them, because I think Tillman's going to get in the team, and then you've got to look at the rest. You've got to have a balance in your team. We can't just stick off football players that we know can play football, because you need a grafter. You need the runner and the grafter. You need somebody in there that'll do the work. So it's not about just putting players in we know have got good skill and all that, and just think that that's it. They've got to chase back and all that and harry, but you've got to have a grafter or two in the middle of the park, or at least one, because otherwise your team will not function. We know that. We've seen it before. But no, it's a cup final. We need to win it. Obviously, we need to get that marker laid down. We need to get a trophy back again at Ibrox and get these players and Michael Beale's first trophy, and then get the feel-good factor about the team. But it's laying a marker down against them and making sure that we win that cup final. But aye, it's two new signings, Ox, and if they'd more fitness in them, if you'd maybe had more fitness in them, if they played maybe 6 or 7 games each, then the two of them would be playing in the cup final, would they not?
Well, do you see the two of them playing then? Because obviously, what I've seen so far, when Cantwell's played, yeah, obviously on Saturday, Tillman came out of the team, and Cantwell seemed to be playing more in front of the two, because that's the way we've played in it. We've played the 4-2, made it 3-1. Yeah, that's we agree to that.
Aye.
So Cantwell's played in the front of the two in the midfield with a free rein, and that's where Tillman's done his best work. Do you think, can you see the two of them playing together? I wanted the two of them to start on Saturday, but when you see it, we became a wee bit disjointed. But that might just be because there's no relationships bonded yet, Stevie. Yeah?
Teething problems, Ox. Definitely. That's the way we've been playing, but you don't want too much of the muchness to, but look, over the next couple of games is going to tell us a lot about the two of them, especially their fitness. We need to get them match fit first and foremost, and then you can maybe play them in various positions to see what's happening with them. But I just think I've got to agree with Southside. If this was 6 or 7 games down the line, we wouldn't even be talking like this. You would know what the team would be getting into that cup final. And that's what our manager's going to have shortly. He's going to have a major sore head. Because when Thingy comes back, what do you call him? Oh, my God.
Hadji.
You're right there, Bridge.
You've got Hadji and the
Lawrence.
other one. Lawrence. That's the one I'm looking for. You've got Hadji and Lawrence. I mean, when they come back, Hadji's not even fit either. He's come on there a wee cameo and whatever. He's still to come back and all. But our manager's going to have a hell of a sore head when all these boys are fit. I mean, think of the different formations you could play with all that midfield.
It's getting it. Unless he changes his tactics, you're not going to get them all in the park at the same time, Southside, are you?
No, but we know he'll know how they'll play, and it's about him putting them in. He'll have time to work. I mean, I'm not judging him solely on what he done for 10 minutes on Saturday. I'm going to be obviously you wanted to see him and what he was sort of. We know he was sort of blown a bit in that, right? But you can see he was passing the ball forward and that. And at the end of the day, he'll have time to work with him this week. They'll work on set pieces, wee touches with the wind, maybe what site of systems and formations. So you have all week to work on it. You can try it out against Partick Thistle, and then he can look at it whether he plays him on that surface or no or whatever. But if he goes on and plays, and he can look at it if he plays again, and then he'll have time to judge it when it comes to the cup final. He'll have time to work with the players on the training field and that, and see formations, and actually get to see him and work with him. So I don't see what the problem is. I just think if his fitness is up, I think then there's no reason why he couldn't play him in the cup final.
Interesting. I do think the two of them should start on Sunday, Steve. I'll be honest with you. Two new signings, it makes sense to get their fitness up.
100%. 100%. If I'm the manager, if I'm Mr. Beale, and let's be honest, he sees him every day. Listen, they've been talking about this boy Cantwell, saying, wow, absolutely unbelievable what they're seeing out of him at training. So Mr. Beale will know exactly what he wants to do here with him. But if I'm, me personally, they would win my team against Partick Thistle to get some minutes in the legs. 110%.
Do you think the support? Do you think some of the support will stay for more than 75 minutes on Sunday, Stevie?
You talking about the Subway Loyal?
Drastic, wasn't it? Well, it was drastic looking about there, man, when that goal goes in, and you just look round and stones are emptying. Well, it's a new age Rangers fan, isn't it?
What you saying, Southside, you should have to clock out, then you lose my Jazz points. Is that what you're saying?
That's not a bad idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get it, midweek games and that. I get maybe sometimes people have to get away early and that, but come on. I mean, as soon as that goal went, and I know the game wasn't the best and that, but it doesn't look good, I'll tell you. It doesn't look good at all for when you're looking around there and people are streaming it.
I'll tell you another thing, see if you get my Gels points for buying pies, that would be platinum.
That's how you're not getting them.
You know I'd better take
I think they should take points off you for a bad diet.
Oh, you're a bad man. You're a bad man. I know my old pal Southside will sort me with a cup final ticket. I know you've got connections, mate. I know you've got connections.
I'll try hard, mate. Eh? I'll try hard for you.
And my Rabbi Burns friend there next to you, I know he'll do a bit of digging as well.
But he'll have his own too. Don't kid you. They'll have come through in a brown envelope. You know that.
No comment.
Southside, can I just say, I've never been so embarrassed in all my life. I've met him a few times, got to the games. Where are you going? He says, I need to go and pick my tickets up. And he goes out to the wee box and he comes back. Oh, James Tavernier left me them. Oh, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm running about with a one jacket fits all, trying to run through the main door. Unreal.
That's not true. It's nearly true, but it's not true, Southside.
It's true. He goes to the wee hole in the wall and that, in the wee box. Aye, that's true.
Yeah, I'm trying to protect the innocent.
No, that's not true. It wasn't me. I was turning away from it. It was young Hawk's chair who went up to the box. I just stood there. That's the truth.
Unreal.
Well, we're on it. We'll get on it, Stevie, for you for the cup final, mate, right?
So I'm going to write a cheeky letter to CLO, I think. I'm really fed up with this. I've been the length and breadth of Britain with the teddy bears and I can't get a bloody ticket with the final. I'm scunnered. My jersey's a great thing, but I just don't know how to work that out. I've had all the cup tickets the last year right through to the very date. But brilliant otherwise, but how did I work it? Deary me.
Maybe I'll need to take a tunnel. Right, okay. Come and join us. Give your thoughts. I suppose I've talked about the two new signings. Good news for the club today also. Money going through the club. We don't know exactly what it was. Maybe people converting loans to shares or somebody buying more shares. It looks as if it's what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. Southside.
Stuart Gibson.
Stuart Gibson. Yeah, so fair play him putting his money where his mouth is, yeah. And £1 million quid for him, yeah.
I think he intimated in the past he was willing to to put some investment in, didn't he? So if that's what he's done, then it's all good for the club, innit?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the Bridgeman put money in. We could have got 4 new players there.
There's chance of that, is there?
We can get Bridge to the bank, mate, and then he breaks out in a cold sweat and we've got to take him home again.
He's got that much money, he could buy a Lamborghini.
Put it this way, you really kind of West End with a 75-inch telly, curved telly. That is brilliant. Some man the Bridge.
Yeah, he's some man. 75, I think you're under egging his pudding there, mate. Nice.
No, that's in his bedroom. Did I say his living room? Listen, another bit of good news for the club was Sea Rangers have released dates for St Phoenix, the first band to play in Edmiston House. Brilliant. That's the first one's getting in. It's all revenue for the club, Ox, no?
Aye, I mean, obviously that's St P, that'll be remind you of your old school.
That's so wow. Is this because I flew with Aer Lingus yesterday? I'm caught up. Listen, mate. I probably would have rather swam that yesterday, but I would have been late for the funeral. No, that's good. St Phoenix are booked in. First one's in Edmiston House. All revenue for the club. Brilliant.
I thought that was a brilliant number they done for the Seville. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And they do another wee tune, Happy Place, which done well in the charts too. The boys are blue noses. We should all be buying the tickets and support them. Oh, that's the bottom line. The money's got to the club. Brilliant.
It's got to be my jazz points in this night out south side.
Well, I was checking that. I've been checking that out in the email because I was about to tick all the boxes and just take them all, even if I wasn't attending them. But I'll need to wait and see.
I think it, by the way, don't quote me, Ox. I think it was £11.50 a ticket, which isn't bad, which is quite reasonable. So I took 4 right away. So I hope I get 5 mindshare points for each one I've took.
I'll no bother, Ox, since that's one for me, you, and Fox.
And the bridge man's taking us and bringing us back.
Listen, if it's a buffet, mate, we'll all solve my jazz points if we go with
it. Oh dear.
Listen, it's a step in the right direction. People have their own personal thoughts on the new Edmiston House, and it's a revenue stream for the club, and we hope it works, yeah? You know, and obviously if it does work, there's room for expansion and things can get better. Yeah, but people have wanted some of these things, I've asked for them, and they're there now. So,
well, there's a perk right away, Ox. All the guys that bought the membership, the life membership, they've got priority tickets. So they'll get in first if they want to go and see their families or want to go and see St Phoenix or whatever. So, absolutely.
Jamie, you're in Edmiston House in the cup final. Me and Southside will wave to you.
You're breaking up.
You make sure you get yourself a good table.
Listen, by the way, don't even kid on about it because I'm absolutely gutted. No, for me. I mean, what you have got to remember is Jambareel's 16, right? He's not been to many cup finals since he was born. Know what I mean? And me and him are getting tickets for all the cup games all last year and everything. And I can't believe I can't even get one for him, you know what I mean?
There's still 2 weeks to go, you know what I mean?
I know, but it's just a scenario.
To be honest with you, Big Southside's not looking well, so I think there could be a spare.
Yeah, don't worry. Listen, if we get one, at least Jamba knows he's getting it. Sorry, I thought he was disappointed at the table, that was all. Just checking out.
Great point made by Fox. All Rangers improvements paid by Rangers, not by Glasgow City Council. They don't do irony that much for the Commonwealth Games. They don't do irony that much.
not at all.
You know,
Sure, that's what Pied there, the Celtic walk, as they call it. You know, there's only one walk in Glasgow, and we all know what it is. It's on the 12th of July, but they are paid for all that. Their Commonwealth Games, they get everything. So they did absolute everything. That whole new bit all built for them by the Glasgow Council. It's unbelievable, isn't it, Ox? It really is. See, when you look back, you don't get that next day. You know, they're just
the Celtic walk, was that what they called you when you were walking for the lounge for your Lindless?
Where's the complaint forums? Where are they? I'm sick of it.
Right. Listen, so since you popped out of the Edmondson house, you didn't see the whole thing. You told us that, you know, the first impression is there's a wee bit more work to be done, etc. Yeah.
I didn't see all your Ox, to be honest. I only seen the wee bit when you come in, and it's just like the wee shop flare at the front, and then you go up the stairs. And as I could see, it was just more stuff all laid out like the shop, and then they had this wee sort of cafe. So that's all I saw when I was in. But I know on the match day you had the fan zone, and there was some bars and that, and also you had a balcony, but I've not seen any of that. And obviously the boy who'd said the museum was in the back bit. So I've only seen that wee bit, yeah. But like you've all said, it's going to be revenue for the club, and that's the most important thing. I think they've estimated we could maybe pull in £1 million a year. So
it was something I could never comprehend it. That the tour didn't finish in the shop. Oh, it was mental. They put you to the side of the main store and people were left. So people were then getting transport or disappearing on the tour and never even saw the shop.
That's correct.
You know, the lack of joy not thinking was frightening. You know, but anyway, things seem to be moving in the right direction. Yep. Yeah, Steve.
Yep. Well, listen, you're totally right. You know my dream. You know Martin Luther King had a dream. You know Big Stevie had a dream. That school across with that, the Ibrox, that big bit of spare ground, that football pitches. A big hotel there, the Ibrox Hotel. You can told you helipad with a big badge on it. Fly the players in and out, weddings, everything, all sorts of functions. Imagine going there, all the boys from Belfast, Canada, all coming to see Rangers. You get into your room and it's all Rangers bedding, Rangers curtains, Rangers crests everywhere. All your legends all down the hall. The carpets all Rangers. Come on, man, you're not booking in anywhere else. You're booking into that hotel. I have a dream, and that's what it was. And you're totally right. When you went to Rangers tour, you get put at the side door, and that was you left at Edmiston Drive. Some people never even seen the show. The way they've set it up, New York's, you get obviously when the fan zone's closed Monday to the Friday or whatever, you're getting into the shop, you get through the shop down the stair, and then there's a stair at the side, you go up and you're still in the shop. And then you get through that again, and then you've got the wee bit, you know, you've got your wee bit where you can have a cup of tea, a scone, or a nice salad bowl or whatever. I take it you'll probably do the tour in the museum and then come out and you can go to the coffee shop and you can get a nice roll or whatever you're wanting. And there's a wee balcony there. You can get onto the balcony and take some photos of the stadium, and you can see a bit of the stadium, you know, the seating and the Broomland. And so, listen, it's all revenue, and you're totally right about that. Everybody knows, anybody that comes to Ibrox, you want something at the show, you know, you can have a choice if you want to pay yourself into the museum bit here and then grab a wee bite to eat. So you can make a day it now, you know what I mean? So you couldn't do that before. So it's looking good, and we're getting there. Ibrox is totally updated. Our training faculties, our facilities are all bang on, and now we've got Edmiston House. The club's on the up box.
Aye. I'll say it again, Southside, all paid the Rangers and the Rangers supporter.
Aye, 100%, Ox. It's something that the support and everybody that's put into it and everybody that goes to it, it's all contributing back into Rangers Football Club, and that's what we want. You know, you don't mind if you know the money that you're contributing is going straight back into the club. And it's the same as they say about my jersey. When you purchase your my jersey every year, it goes straight into the playing squad. So it's all positive, and if that gets you these type of players, if you're getting a Cantwell on a contract and that some of that money's been part of that's managed to get him, or Raskin or any other player in the past, and it's positive, isn't it, for the club?
Yeah. Can I just say, by the way, it's a £5 a beer. Any of the bells that are going into the fan zone, you get a pint of whatever it is for a £5, you get a bottle of Peroni, it's a £5. So it's quite reasonable, and you're watching. You've got to remember too, you're watching players getting interviewed. Scotty Arfield and the young boy Devine were in there on Saturday, and some good crack for wee Scotty Arfield, you know. And you're dry, you're out the elements. You know, Glasgow, it's not exactly Spain, you know. So
nobody the first Devine to play the Rangers club, will it?
Oh, steak and kidney.
Things are moving, mate. Things are moving, eh?
It's moving, but we're on the up.
What did Jamba think? What did Jamba think, mate?
Listen, it'll not belong to his ditching his old dad. He's meeting his pals in there, having a bottle of beer. You know, he's getting to that age.
Who's going to push up here then?
Stevie, I didn't mean to say this, but the last time we was talking to him, we said he was getting ready to ditch you a lot earlier than you think.
I think he gave me 2 weeks on Sunday, for being honest.
Honestly, he knows I took Jam bite again. He's like, oh, thank God I'm a new South Side man. My dad's a pain in the butt. No, he says at least we don't need to go and stand at the pie queue, because he always sends them there, by the way. Don't let him kid you. He doesn't go, he sends Jamba.
Jamba only seen 2 goals the last season, didn't he?
Listen, this is a boy. When he was wee, I said to him, don't be cheeky to that wee boy. You'll have wins in your head one day. And he says, so will you, da. He's quite witty. But no, I'll not be long. Listen, that's what I'm saying about this carry on with the League Cup final. Boys like Jamba, I mean, I had to convince him. Son, we used to scud this mob left, right and centre. And see that day, that League Cup final, we scudded him. Absolutely scudded him and couldn't put the ball in the pokey. Tears. Talk about tears, man. Try to convince that Wayne was deflated in the way back of the car. When will we ever beat them? It just can't. I'm like, son, he watches all the videos and everything. And knew it's for turn and knew it's a cup final. We can't get to it. But anyway, young Jamba is like most young bears. He's wanted to go to the game with his pals and get in with the Union Bears and give it Yahoo, and I'm standing on his short tail trying to worried about him. Look, just parent stuff, no? But I don't believe you for a minute, Southside, when you said, thank God I'm with you, Southside, no, my dad. I don't believe that for a minute.
I know, you're all right. You've got me all right, then. I'll not tell you what he really said.
That's not what he said. He said, thank God I'm with anybody but my dad.
Southside would have made him pay for the pies. I don't. I pay for them.
No, he didn't get one. Said you had to give him the money.
But listen, the Teddy Bears were a hard bunch to please. We've said that a million times on this platform. Rangers are on the up. But we've cleared the decks, we've cleared our feet, we've renewed everything inside Ibrox. We're sitting in the best of the best. And we've got a big place there now, a big fan zone to get us out the elements where it's wind and rain. You squeeze a couple of thousand bears in there. They've got a DJ on, there's buzzing. And you can just imagine Rangers and Celtic, Rangers in Europe, or Rangers playing Celtic away at Parkhead. If they sold tickets for that place and they'd done a beanbag, it'd pull in an absolute fortune, a £5 a beer. Deary me. It'd pull in an absolute megadome beanbags. Rangers playing big games in Europe away from home. Come to Edmiston House, we've got a couple of players getting interviewed. We've got St Phoenix on or whatever. Man, the place would be jumping.
Gone with the last time I was at we used to, that would be a coffee and a Coke. That would pull in a fortune, man.
That's when he was doing his Eric Bristow impression on a gin, wasn't it?
Mate. You can just picture Ox opening the end of that bar up and falling through like Del Boy with that gin, can't you? Brilliant.
Play easy Southside, nice and easy Southside.
Anyway, I'll concur. Jamba's a cracking boy, right? He's getting taught about the best for his dad, and he's growing up and he's passionate about the Rangers. A wee man, I'll give him that, and he's getting led in the right direction, and his dad's doing the best he can to get him to all the games. And like we all do with our boys and lassies and that, when we're trying to get to the games, you know. So I'm hoping that the big will get a ticket and Jamba for the cup final, because they certainly deserve it. And when you travel all over the place to follow the Glasgow Rangers, mate, it's heartbreaking when it comes down to just that only 20-odd thousand are going to get a ticket instead of the semi-final, when we probably had about 35,000 tickets available, and they put the number up slightly on my jersey to give the members the ticket, because let's be honest, by the time corporate gets some and the sponsors get some and the people have got Devonshire seats at both at Hampden and off, you think back and whatever you done back then and that and boxes and stuff.
18,000-20,000 tops.
We're probably going to get about 20, maybe 20, about 20 and a half, and the rest get dished out to everybody else, didn't they?
I heard this was 20.
I do have extreme sympathy for, you know, and I don't mean to be flipping this here, the young boys that are on the Rangers journey, you know. I don't know how we sort it, mate. I really don't.
No. I mean, listen, again, the old argument rolls on and rolls on. Jamba's new, the same as me. He has points that get up, not through myself, but how do you get this gold? How do you get there? You can't get tickets. I mean, I've been in nearly all the away games this season, along with Southside will tell you, but I don't get any points for that because I'm buying the tickets after this guy and that guy. They're getting the points. I don't get them. So how am I ever going to get up there? How am I ever going to get up the top of the tree? It's just one of these things.
Yeah, I just want to run something past you today, used to. And obviously for the listeners as well. I don't know if you've seen it, broke on the radio this morning when I was going to work. At the same time as you, Stevie, I think the biggie was getting up for the toilet. Right? They're talking about they're saying that there's a movement growing that they should show. There's a law in the UK that I wasn't aware of. I don't know if you are. Between 2:45 and 5:15, you're not allowed to show live football, apart from certain games, yeah, i.e. cup finals, etc. Yeah, internationals. And they're saying that now that clubs should be able to just show their own games, and people should be able to watch their own teams. Do you think that's coming? If it started to be mentioned, and that was 5 Live I was listening. Do you think it's coming? Do you think that'll come for armchair fans who have armchair season tickets? In the UK, I'm talking about. Obviously, you can watch Rangers if you're abroad, yeah. You can if you're in the UK. Do you think it's coming, Southside?
I think it'll need to come, won't it? I mean, TV dictates football, didn't it? Remember David Murray saying it way back in the day, didn't he? He said they're dictating it, and look at the games we've kicked off every day of the week. So when it comes to live games on a Saturday, I think eventually they'll get changed, docs. I know I've heard that there's a blanket ban on it, but I think there's even times before. Remember they used to say you couldn't show a live game when there was a European game on, and then you started seeing English games on when there was a European game on at night. So things change, and I think going forward it will.
Stevie?
Aye, I think it will come. Telly's dictating. We used to play football at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, didn't we? Look at it now. I think it will come. You get it on TV, Rangers TV quite a lot. We can't show it to the UK viewers, but all the troops in Canada, South Africa, New Zealand and everywhere else that bells are, they can watch it. It's definitely going to come. It'll come up with they'll put it in a premium package or something like that. Support your team. This is a package for a year, a season ticket. Home and away, you'll get all the games live and there'll be no more carry on in it. And listen, let's be honest, it'll cut a lot of dodgy boxes and stuff out, won't it? You know, if you were to get that. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Was that he said?
I don't know, mate.
No, I don't know.
It must be talking about his mate with that business he's got.
Dodgy boxes with Alec.
Anyway, somebody I would really like to be a pallbearer for. We've been joined by Alex Kelly. Evening, Alex.
Good evening, Oxford, Southside and Big Stevie.
How you doing, big man?
You're a diet. You're a diet.
I wouldn't like to be your pallbearer here, Stevie.
Hey, come on, do I've lost a few puns.
You lost a fiver, Alex. No, he lost 40, didn't he?
I was going to say that I caught 40, didn't I?
Good. Good on you. And condolences to your pal there, big man, too. So thoughts are raised for that. And also Billy Thompson, who passed away there the start of the week. Condolences to his family.
Well said, Alex. What's on your mind, mate?
Good chat, and good laugh with all yous. What was I'm going to the game this Sunday. I've got tickets, but there's a wee story I hinted if you would allow me to tell.
Wait a minute, before you go any further, we want to know who gave you them.
Mike Wells.
Aye, I've got my Myers points, won't it?
Mike Wells, I'm playing blue.
Is it really yours, Myers points, Alex?
I believe it or not, I've bought the Myers. My dad's
is that you up to 16 points now or something?
I think I'm about 18. Honestly, I said to the wee man there,
Alex, just so you know, the subway goes to Ibrox now, all right?
Is it? Hey, the last time I was in a subway, I had a foot long. Hey,
Mrs. Kelly said that.
Oh, she calls you Tom Thimble.
She's right.
Right.
Anyway, I said to the wee man last week, do you fancy going to again next Sunday? He's like, aye, no bother. So last Sunday I went on to it. And for the life of me, I kept flagging up a warning thing. Wouldn't let me buy the tickets, wouldn't let me. Under his name. Because he's no got managers. I have, but they've deleted my account and my dad's, but he's concession. So wouldn't let me buy tickets. Eventually, I got 2 concession tickets, but unaware that we were going to public sale on the Monday.
You must have seen your picture.
I know.
Stevie.
So I've said to my dad, I popped in and seen him, and he's not been to Ibrox for he did no well last year, and they lost the site and lost parcel sites. He's not been. I don't think he would ever get there. So I went in and seen him there on Monday, and I said to him, "Do you fancy going to Ibrox on Sunday?" He's like, well, I wasn't there. Aye, okay then, so we're going. So I got myself an adult ticket, but I've told my boys go to dress up as one of the boys out still getting to as a concession.
Bobby the Farman.
Alec, you could probably go to the ticket office and upgrade it.
On the show, Southside. Andy feelings was right. He's got 2 tickets and he's no paying full price.
I know.
I'm buying my dad, I'm buying my boys. So.
I think you can upgrade it at a ticket office. I think they're opened a day or 2 before a game or something, if you had to.
Yeah. Nobody will notice, surely.
Oh, there's a wee guy, or a wee woman stands behind and looks to see if it. It comes up at A for adult, J for juvenile.
What is it? Oh well.
Yes.
Right.
Concession. It'll come up as C for concession when he just clicks it.
Well, it's usually a C for something else when Stevie flags through.
Yeah, this chases you down the road, mate. Just tell me to bolt.
I do bother. But talking about the League Cup and how important it is, you know I've always been a fan of the League Cup. What's a League Cup final that sticks in your mind and why?
Oh, I go first. Can I go first?
On you go.
My first ever League Cup final. First ever. Sally McCoy's hat-trick. Beat Celtic 3-2. I remember Sandy Clark sliding in for the second and putting it McCoy's bang. And then McCoy's third one was a penalty kick. Bonner saved it. The Celtic end jumped. It was marvellous, so it was. And B Super Sally ran in and tucked away the rebound. Oh, and the Bears were going potty up. Oh, brother.
1984. I've seen that DVD, Southside.
McQuaid got 2 penalties in that game, didn't he?
Aye.
Yes.
First and the third.
Roy Aiken.
That was a special.
Anyway, Southside, what's yours?
There's many, mate, to be honest.
Did they give you my year's points for them?
No, back the days, no. Used to win the
Did you
League
go
Cup.
back to Southside? Alan McDonald's flying heater.
Well, aye, you could go with that one, aye, but was it Davy Cooper? Free kick against Aberdeen.
Brilliant.
Dundee.
In and out before Leighton hit the deck.
Oh, aye, that one, aye.
That game went to penalties, yeah.
Yep.
Aye.
Trevor Francis, what a penalty he took that night. Two step. Peter Nicholas won it at Aberdeen at the bar. He missed. Peter Nicholas, I was there, yes. When my man knitted me a nice Atlantic jumper, God rest their soul. And I had to turn. I mean, I turned the whole jumper turn. It was itchy as
I must have taken her away like that. You a jumper the size of you.
They were on a style about 10 years previous to that Southside.
What's your final option?
I thought he used to have a tank top, didn't you, Stevie?
Yes. Yes. Big white cardigan, yes. There's
been some special League Cup finals, mate. You know, when you're growing up, we won that every year for. Even when we didn't have the most successful team challenge in the league, you know, and obviously the Durant and Cooper scored as soon as his first trophy of the year.
86, wasn't it?
Aye, I mean that was we knew that we were building something, you know. But I'll come back to you after the tune, Alec. Yeah, I'll come back to you.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll have a think about it because at Southside we have won it a lot.
Aye, we used to, when it was the Skull Cup, we used to win that all the time. And I was just trying to think back, that Davy Cooper free kick one, that sprung to mind. I remember that vaguely. Stevie's one, that one with Alan McCoy, that's the Sandy Clark flick on, wasn't it? He played that game. That was some game as well. But I was just trying to think there when we were talking, and he said we're coming to the tune. But I'd been some great wins in the League Cup, Alex. And I'd said a while back, I think that's what we should be looking to win in a couple of weeks' time. We've got to cement that trophy. That gets a winning feeling back at the club, doesn't it? And it's a good thing for Michael Beale, and we'll get the 2 new signings, and it just lifts the club and the support. And then we can still try and put a dent in this league, but it puts a marker down to them. That's what's the most important thing. We just didn't get out of the line just the turn of the year, but we can certainly get out of the line in that final at Hampden.
All right, get yourselves a mute because we're going to have a tune.
Underneath the Glasgow lights, the narrow streets are blue and white. They lead me to a place where I belong. And walking there, I hear a sound of all the people loud and proud. Their voices come together in a song. No matter what may come, we'll always follow on. We'll always follow on. We've had our darkest days, now it's our time again. The writing's on the wall. Now you got giants at your feet. You hear the call of history. You gave us something to believe. We follow you, so make us dream. Now make us dream. Now make us dream. will travel far and wide to fly the flag and fly it high for all the ones we've lost along the way. To odds and friends will raise a glass, and everything that's come to pass has paved the road to lead us to this day. No matter what may come, we'll always follow on, we'll always follow on. We've had our darkest days, now it's our time again. The writing's on the wall. Now you got giants at your feet. You hear the call of history. You gave us something to believe. We follow you, so make us dream. Now make us dream. Now make us dream.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that. Brilliant tune, but it scared me for life for Seville, if I'm being honest, because we were playing that by the pool. Jaffa was coming along with a big tray of drinks with his budgie smugglers on, and I kind of right. You know, but memories. Right, okay. Best goal ever seen, best free kick ever seen, yeah. Was Davy Cooper's against Aberdeen, yeah. McCoy's hat trick got to be up there. McCoy's overheat kick in the League Cup final against Hibs under the circumstances. Fairy tale stuff, couldn't make it up. You know, so it's a competition, but I go with Big Stevie because we didn't have the greatest team in the world, and you would struggle to name the Rangers team that day. Struggle in the 1984 Cup final.
Oh,
And I bet you Big Stevie wouldn't be able to name it.
no, I wouldn't be able to name it. Definitely no. I was only a young boy.
See when you're saying that, right? See for about 84, was that did that start as the Skull Cup, didn't it?
Aye.
Because I think it went 10 years the Skull Cup, didn't it, roughly? It was League Cup, but Skull Cup, I'm sure it was about nearly 10 seasons they sponsored it. And I think we won it in that time about 7 times. From about 84 onwards. Aberdeen won it once or twice, and I think Hibs won it in a season. But I think apart from that, in that 10 year, they never won it once when it was the Skull Cup, when it was called the Skull Cup, I think.
I've not checked that out, but I think we won that twice within about 7 months. I think we won it against them in March, and the McCoy's game, and then about 7 months later we beat Dundee United or something like that. Maybe we played it quite rapid, though.
Aye. I think it changed, I don't know, CIS Cup or something, I don't know, it changed, but I think the 10 year when it was the Skull Cup, I don't think they managed to get their name on
it. Brilliant.
Oh, sure. Was it the League Cup final where McCoist and Gaza had fell out at Celtic Park against Hearts?
Against Hearts, the 4-2 game. That was a great cup final. I think McCann had a good game for them, and he celebrated these 2 goals and the 2 goals that Hearts scored, and nobody called him an idiot. You know.
And it's the game Gaza went up and had a double brandy, came back down and played the second half of his life.
Aye. But mind the one as well, I think it was St Mirren we played and we were due to 9 men. Kenny Miller header.
That was a fabulous one. Aye. Bridge's the pigeon man of the match that day, didn't he?
Aye. That was, see that.
Southside, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, here we go.
Right, I want you to have a go at naming that team for the 84th Cup final. Because obviously you know your peak. Right, I'm going to
Hey,
give you
I know Sandra Clark played up front
McCoy's. Right.
in Super. Jimmy Nicholl would have played that game.
Yep.
Sugar, man.
Goalie?
John McClellan, Craig Patterson.
one at a time. Your name's no Southside, all right?
I'm getting him a horn.
Well, we signed
Oh.
Patterson in about 82 or something, didn't we?
You'll have Googled it. He
I've-
can't Google
I know.
it.
I know. Oh man, this is torture. Right, Jimmy Nicholl
Right,
played, didn't he?
who kicked the ball? Who got an assist for the second goal?
Oh man,
Andy Clark, wasn't
that's it. Clark headed the one. Was that not for the penalty?
Who,
Up?
who kicked up to him?
Oh aye,
Cooper,
no,
Rips.
no, it was the
I'm not
goalkeeper.
going to tell you
It was
again.
big. Do you know? Something's telling me it was big gas meter, but
Well done. Correct.
innit?
he? McCoy.
Big McCloy. Aye. Oh,
Right, so you got Jimmy, you got McCloy, Nicholl.
Was it Dawson?
Dawson, Ali Dawson, we played.
Yep.
Oh man, midfield's got to be Bobby Russell.
Of course, mate. Broke down for the penalty.
Aye, it sure was. I was just thinking that one time we brought him down, didn't he? Or though McLeod was it? Aye, for them.
Aye.
Can't remember. Aye, Bobby Russell.
Can I maybe add a wee
Aye, batter in there, aye.
John McDonald playing that day?
He did, mate. I substituted guys with drum trouble, couldn't keep the pace.
The old drummer.
Right. No, done no bad. Here we go. McCloy, Nicholl, Dawson, McClellan, Patterson, Cooper, Russell, McPherson, McDonald, Clark, and McCoist. A bonus for the two substitutes, Southside.
Substitutes.
One went on and played with Hearts, maybe Dunfermline. He's been on the show. The other one sadly no longer with us. What a gentleman. And he's signed for Partick Thistle.
Oh,
I've got my horn up here, Oxford.
I'm not going to tell you again. Shut up.
you get in the corner, you.
Southside, come on.
Colin McAdam was one,
Well done.
and the other one is, you say, was it a right back?
Yes.
Hugh Burns.
Well done, mate.
Was it?
Well done, mate. Yes.
That's shocking.
Well,
I
he'd
can
be
get the
dancing
two, but I
with
couldn't
it.
get off the team.
Well done.
Craig Patterson, I thought he'd probably been there because we signed him for Hibs. He cost £225,000 back then. That was where the most we'd spent for a player at that time.
Right, big Patterson, huh?
Aye.
I'm a big beastie. Huh?
Gentleman, mate. Gentleman. Absolute gentleman.
He was a good...
And I always remember, see, their end was empty. Behind the goal was full for them, but when it came to the side, across where all the teams came out, their end was empty. Absolute empty. And of course, the Bells always take their allocation. Our end was bouncing. I was doing bouncer. I can flog up about skills to it.
Talking about somebody who's always bouncing, we'll be joined by Andy for Leeds evening. Andrew.
Aye, good evening, guys. I was bouncing at a few of them finals. I can tell you, I wasn't old enough to drink then neither. But my favourite one, I can't mind much about the game. I know Ronnie McKenna was the captain. Big DJ scored the goal. Ran away for Leeds for that one. 10-year-old. Got absolutely battered when I got back off my old man right enough. But the one I did like was we come from behind against Dundee United. 1 chip, 1 goal. Amish, you're an asshole. 2-1. That was a good game. The 3 each one. We won on penalties. Yeah, Redford. Yeah, great player him. Played for Rangers at the wrong time. So did Pritz as well. They were all round about them areas, weren't they? You know. But we've had some great memories in that League Cup. Like you said there earlier on, when we weren't winning well, we always seem to win that League Cup. Always when it was European.
Andy, what did you just call Stevie and Southside?
I'm not going to tell you again. I'm not going to tell you again, Mr. Kelly. You wait for your name said, or you're not.
He doesn't learn, does he? He's just coming off a Facebook ban. He just does not learn.
No class, Andy. No class. Know it yourself.
Well, I know. He knows that as well. But no, the 3 each win was a good one. When we went to penalties, Durant got the final penalty. I think it was that Welsh guy that missed it for them, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
They were some finals, but when the two of them were some finals.
They were great teams, battling at each other.
You think back and you watch that, and you watch the performances that Aberdeen have put against us now. It's night and day, isn't it? They were trying to win the game of football.
That period, you could put that game on anywhere. They were great games to watch. Two teams getting stuck into each other. 9 times out of 10 we come out. I think we lost one of them, didn't we? One League Cup final, if I remember. But I used to love them games, right? Of going to them, all them League Cup finals. They were great memories. They live with you forever, don't they? I mean, the 3-2-1. I think did Fergie get the final goal there, like a half volley or something. That was a cracking game as well. Fantastic memories, brilliant. Let's hope that we get this one coming up here, and and it sets us off, and off we go. Start winning trophies at a regular basis, hopefully.
Right, Mr. Kelly, you can come in now.
That's very nice, thank you.
Right, that's enough.
No, I remember one as well. Jelavic, I think it went to extra time, didn't it? And off the post.
I'm going to ask you if you were at all these games, but I know you wouldn't be.
That
was the last time we won it. That was the last time we won the League Cup. That was in a month. Well, little did we know what was coming after that game, Southside.
Yeah.
Aye. The only thing you remember is when you scored a goal at Hampden, back in the dust and all that, and the story was going everywhere, and you'd end up a few rows from where you were because it was all standing. Every now and again you'd hit a barrier, and probably back then it'd be more in Hampden. You're talking about that cup final in '84 when we beat them. The Hampden attendance was probably bigger than it is now as well. But aye, they were the days. Going up to the game.
When Jelavic scored the winner, did you think that would be the last time we won the League Cup?
No. Certainly no. Same as when I was in Kilmarnock, we were winning the league with Big Lafferty, we battered them, and I thought that would be another league title, and we get another one the year after. It's just just expect things to carry on, But we've had a dose of reality, so now we know we've been no winning enough. We've had the chances, and we've cost us games in semi-finals and quarter-finals and games in League Cups, and no winning other cup finals that we could have. So now we've got Michael Beelan, we've got a new start again, we've got some new players, and we're starting to see a Rangers that's got a bit of formation, and we're winning. And we could have had a right 100% record bar 5 minutes. So here, nothing to fear, nothing at all to fear. We should all be looking forward to going to the final, and expecting the Glasgow Rangers to put on a show. And if we do that, there's only got to be one winner, and it'll be the famous Glasgow Rangers.
That sounds daft, and I know we're away out for the final, but if the two teams play, we win. There's no doubt in that.
No, we've got nothing to fear. Right? We've got a good sort of defence. Knitting together, we know it's no perfect, but here they're no perfect, for Pete's sake. Like, you know what I mean? We know we could get at them, and we get at them. We know the damage we can do. So Hampden, and it still hurts the wounds that they nicked one half us with the offside goal at a free kick, and Alfie couldn't score a penalty that day because we battered them that day. So we've got them back at Hampden in a League Cup final. So let's just show them that we are the best,
I'm sure we will mention it once or twice, but we have got games before then. We were debating Raskin and Cantwell earlier on, Andy. yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've not seen enough for Raskin. We've seen Cantwell over 3 appearances now. What's your initial thoughts, mate? And then I'll go to AK.
On Cantwell, well, look, that's my stupidity of not knowing who he was in the first place, right enough. But I like what I've seen out of him. As I said the other day there, I like the fact that they have a go at him and he just bounces back up. He gets about the pack. He seems to glide around the pack, to be honest with you. I think he'll be okay for us. If he plays like he's going to play or he's been playing, he don't need to fill out or out like that. He just do his business. Sometimes you just have that skill that you can, pull things off, and I think this guy could do it. I liked what he said there as well. He said that, he'd fill out with his boyhood club and it'll come out in time, but he's so happy to be up playing for the Rangers, and, he gets the bug off of the Rangers fans. He could go on to be an absolute great. Raskin, I think he'll be okay. I really do. I mean, you can't judge like you saw in the cameo that he played there, but he looks willing to get stuck in. He's a forward-thinking player. I don't think you'll be seeing him trying to tippy-tappy or push it back. I think he'll want the team going forward. So hopefully that comes well for us as well. 2 good acquisitions, in my opinion. And also, it gives a team a lift on it as well when you bring new faces in.
2 players Andy likes. That's unusual. AK.
I knew that was coming.
It's early yet.
Like 5 minutes.
Just wait till you see them play first. No, he's right. They look good for what we've seen so far, the fleeting appearances. They're positive. And they'll give an injection, a boost for the confidence for the rest of the team. We've just got to be a wee bit careful here. We don't overload our kind of midfield and leave his light in there. Sometimes if you've got too many forward-thinking players, they forget their roles defensively, and it leaves us exposed at the back. A wee bit, as you know, Barisic and Tavernier like to bomb on and they forget what's behind them. So we've just got to, I think Beale's got to just be careful not to overload the midfield in there with forward-thinking players. We still need, guys like Lundstrom and Jack and Kamara to an extent. I mean, the guys were fantastic last week at Hearts because you all don't know their roles. These guys are just coming in and learning their roles of what Beale wants of them. But they certainly look positive compared to previous transfer windows. So I am hoping they fit in there nicely, and if they get on the score sheet, even better.
I think that's a fair comment he makes, Stevie. You've got to get the blend right, yeah?
Aye, you've got to. Listen, as Alec was saying there, we've just got to watch we don't get carried away. We keep talking about the midfield and overdoing it. We've got to watch for wing backs like to push up forward, just got to watch. But listen, we've got a good tactician there, haven't we, Mr. Beale? He'll know what he's doing. He'll sort that out, and we'll have every angle covered. I have no doubt in my mind. We seem to think this boy goes on in interviews and gives a lot away. I don't. I think he plays mind games. I really do. He's no daft by any manner of means. But as far as the midfield, games are won and lost in the midfield too, Alec, so we need to get our strongest. And they 2 boys, I mean, if we get minutes into their legs the next few games, I said it earlier on, they're no projects, they're both to play. And if they're fit, and they look all right and they get minutes in their legs the next couple of games, Partick Thistle, Livingston, then I think they're starting.
Sorry, Southside.
Aye, I go along with that. That if they're getting plenty of time on the tune this week, and they'll have game and Sunday, the 2 of them. So I'd like to think that the 2 of them could go into the team in the cup final when it comes. But most important thing, Alex, is we're seeing a bit of freshness. We can't well, aren't we? We're seeing a good balance here, player, good vision, good energy, something different. And you've seen how even as he went by the player, he nearly fell over, but he had the balance to stay on his feet, look up and chips a wee ball in, and there's Tillman.
Good
It's
goal.
getting on the end of it. It was a cracking goal, wasn't it? But it was just the balance as well as when he gets in the box, stumbles and still manages to pick out a Rangers player. That's what we've been missing. A player for our midfield that's busting in the box. Kent will do it. We've seen him doing it at Tynecastle. But on Saturday, nothing for him again, and running in and trying to do that type of thing. So it's Cantwell and Tillman, I think, that's shining in now, and the wee bits that we've seen for the two of them in our team. And they two, well, Tillman's a young boy, and Cantwell, who were brought in to probably do what we're seeing now in bits and parts for him.
So basically what you're saying is you brought these two players in and they're going to be sitting at your top table, mate, yeah?
Aye, 100%. That's where they should be at the top table. All right, Stevie?
Aye, top table,
Last time he was at the top table, it was a children's panel, wasn't it, Stevie?
Well, no comment.
It's not the first time you've said that.
Oh, you bet. Aye, you're out of order, Southside. So he's Robbie Burns people. He's out to get me. He's out to get me all the time. Every dog's at their date.
Oh, we know, mate. We know. Right, okay. Andy, you're sitting from afar and you're watching. Do you feel a bit of positivity coming towards the club? You know, obviously, look.
Yeah, you're talking about on the pack or off it, or both?
Both, mate, both. Because it all goes hand in glove, doesn't it? Whether we like it or not.
Do I trust him totally? No. You seen that on Saturday. You know, the way they played against Hearts, you would have thought that would have gone somewhere near, probably not as good as that, because I think they were exceptionally brilliant there on the Wednesday night against the Hearts. I'm baffled at what goes on at Ibrox at times. As I say, I only see it, you know, I'm not at the games, and like you said before, you see more in the stadium, but we should be, these teams at Ibrox and that, we should be really rolling them over. I don't think we've moved on that far for rolling these teams over since Bale's come in, really, because we're struggling against them, and that shouldn't be. We should be taking them out, no problem. Off the park with Edmiston House and all that, great. The guys put a few quid in as well. I think they're trying. We need a lot of money. That's the problem. You've got to show a bit of common sense there. You know, I have to get it in somehow, and if we can do that and start bringing in good amounts of money, then, you know, the players on the park that he brings in will be better players. But we are where we are now. The good thing about it is he would not have done that. He would not have had that under Gio. We would have, you know, especially going down to Aberdeen and teams like that, we would have drawn them or lost them. So whatever he's done, he's got into their heat somehow because they're getting the results. But we should be rattling them. I mean, but that's what it is, isn't it? That's following the Rangers just now. You know what I mean? It's more frustrating at the moment. But the players are still the same players that got us into that position. And there's players in there that downed the last manager and that. So you just hope that whatever happens, Bill gets into them till he can get them to the end of the season, and we'll see a different Rangers from then. There ain't no doubt about that. The people being out of contract will dictate that. So, you know.
AK, we've seen evolution.
It's certainly the beginning of it. It's forced upon us. We should really have done this a couple of years ago, I think, last year, when we had assets to sell, and we could have refreshed the squad a couple of years ago, when we had people sniffing round about Morelos and possibly Kent and Kamara and stuff, you know. But now, as Andy's saying there, we're trying to do a rebuild here, but we're back on a shoestring again, so to speak. Not as bad as what it was under Gerrard, obviously. We're in a far better position financially for then, but compared to them across the city, it's still a shoestring budget. I mean, they've spent 50 million and we're talking about 1.5 million undisclosed fee, blah, blah, blah. But the league table, I'm afraid, doesn't lie. I mean, we're sitting second behind them, but we're like 20 odd points or something ahead of Hearts, and third, and Hearts are only 22 points to the bottom of the table. So we're by far and away just now the second best team in the country, but we're still that 9 points gap behind them. Of course, we're capable of beating them in a one-off game, but is the rest of Scottish football capable of taking anything off them? It's very debatable there, but we can only look after our own. Bill's been a positive impact. all the injury players coming back is going to strengthen the squad, but we've also got a dilemma. He's got to refresh the squad with aging players. We've got to look for new positions for goalkeepers and certain areas of the park. We need strikers to score goals as well. He's got to. It's a big season ahead, but we've still got 2 cups to play for. Keep the run going and see where it takes us. But getting that first cup on the board will certainly ruffle some feathers across the city that we mean business.
Also, I mean, I think you've got to, as far as their money's concerned, what they've spent, mate, they've also brought money in, mate, so don't be fooled, mate. There's no an outlet. There's no way to fund 15 million down the back of the sofa.
Yeah.
If you just look at the European, what did they get? Just for starting money, I think it was 7 million. We get 1 million. That starts flipping next year, mate. With the coefficient.
I know, but
they've had 12 years at that money, mate.
I know, but where they've been prudent, though, to be fair, though, is they've sold their assets when the big money's been floating about them. We've held on to ours.
Have a look, mate. Have a real look at their transfer business, mate. Not just the headline figures and see the money. You think they've made money? Have a real look.
Okay.
Yeah. As I say, Steve, we follow the money here.
Aye, and wear 2 pair of pants, yes. I didn't like to go away.
Oh, brilliant. Line of the night.
Aye, yep. Listen, the Yorkshire's no daft. Listen, they're propaganda machine here, aren't they? Celtic always get rid of their players for big money, don't they? And it's all headlines, but when you look at the small print, what Yorkshire's obviously did, the bottom line for me is it's Celtic. They seem to hold a price tag on their players and we don't. And it can be a wee bit frustrating for me. I know if you look into the small print, Oxford, you might see that it kind of evens itself out regarding them. But us, I think sometimes we sell our players cheap, or we run down the clock with them and we don't hit the button at the right time to sell them. And I just think we're a wee bit daft that way. Whether they know exactly. They don't care who it is that's going out the door. Like they done with that boy Yakamankis or whatever he's called. What did they get for him? £4.5 million. £4.5 million, and he was. Listen, I thought he was one of the better players, but it doesn't matter to them. When the price is right, they go, and we don't. We seem to show a bit of loyalty with players in that. In the long run, it comes back and bites us in the bum. We've done it with McGregor and etc. Stephen Davis and all them this year, didn't we? We showed them a bit of loyalty. We gave them extra years contracts. And I think that came back to haunt us a wee bit. But anyway, getting back to the monkey mob, just follow the money. That must be coming to a head at some point. It must be. I mean, they're just trying to get everything back. All the predators are dying off,
Follow
Stevie.
Yes.
Can I just say, now you're saying about showing loyalty to players.
Final written warning.
Right,
Yeah, a final written. Yeah, Andy, have a word with him. There's manners and courtesies on here. You know how it works, Andy. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not answering nothing because I get blamed for it anyway. So I'll just listen and wait till I'm spoken to.
I'll go to Southside, then I'll come back to you, Andy, and then we'll
Okay.
leave him face
Okay,
the corner,
thank you.
right? Right, on you go, EK.
No, listen, it was rather than showing loyalty to a player, could it be our manager doesn't trust Wilson's acquisitions to come in to replace him, the player that's going out? So rather than...
You obviously don't trust the manager. Both the two managers have told you, the last two managers have both told you they had final say on recruitment.
Well, that's debatable for me.
You don't trust them, so they're liars. Southside.
Aye, well, that has been said, Alex. No, I think we would have had 3 players. I think if we could have got the Morgan Whittaker deal over the line, I think he was keen on getting that, trying to get that done, and we certainly put a bid in, as he alluded to. So, Alex, we've got to refresh this whole squad, and that's what we've got today. And like you said, we should have probably done it a while ago. We have got sellable assets there, and I think Albert mentioned it last night. I mean, there's Sakala, and there'll probably be Borner. You can move on. There's Lundstrom,
Kamara.
And Kamara. They're people that you can move on at this time and get money come the end of the season.
Well, Golson's worth more as an asset now than he was this time last year.
Aye, should somebody come in from and also Tav. But we've got to get more players in the door. We've got to refresh it, Alex. We've got to get new players in. There's no point in maybe saying or keep Ryan Jack for another year because his form's good now. It's what you've got to look at what he's done in the last wee while and all. He's hardly been fit. And when he's fit, he might be good. But I'm looking for us to be qualifying for the Champions League. And we know what it's like in there. You need fit, fast players. And a John Lundstrom and a Ryan Jack isn't going to contain a midfield in that Champions League because the boys are all moving about fast one-touch football. So I think Michael Beale's no daft. I think he's got Raskin in that midfield because he knows he's going to give you energy. I think we'll have to go out and buy at least another 2 midfielders easily. And then I think we've got to look for a right winger, which I think he's identifying, and then somebody like Whittaker or somebody else. We're going to have a striker and we'll address the goalkeeper, Alex. But we've also got to look at for the young boys and the homegrown players in Scotland, and we've got to look at what we've got in the academy. And can these boys progress, or are we going to have to start moving on and on and looking for something else coming through later on? Because we've got 29 something players when they're all fit as a squad. So we need to trim it in the summer, and we need to add to it.
There's going to be actual wastage. I mean, who have we got a contract? We'll get Kent Morelos, we know about Big Hollander, Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis, McGregor, Scotty Arfield. There's 7 people that's all been part of your first team. Yeah, without getting into all the other fringe players. AK, yeah. I think it'll be highly unlikely Scotty, Alan McGregor, Stephen Davis are going to get a contract. There's possibilities that Ryan Jack might get an extension if the deal's right for both parties. Morelos and Kent is all for debate. People will get their own views on it. I know Southside's got strong views on it. Stevie sees it differently. Hollander will leave the club, so that frees up wages. We might not bring in guys on transfers, but remember, they're coming in on hefty wages. Was that Stevie? Did you come in there, mate?
Aye, it was me. I was just going to say, when's Roof up? When's Roof up? When's his?
Next year. Next summer.
But nobody looking to offload him.
Well, you're looking for a blind scout to sign him. You know what I mean? Who's going to move him on it? He'll be on decent wages, mate. He's getting older. He's not kicked a ball. They're not going to be lining up to sign him, unfortunately. You know, if that makes sense. But you never know. Andy.
You've got Sands and Tillman to Oxford.
Aye, they're on loan, mate. They're on loan.
Yeah.
Andy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you kind of said it all there. Jack and him, they've got to go. I wouldn't even keep Lundstrom, to be honest with you. I think the 2 of them can go for me, and we can bring some better players on. Well, I think Jack's not on that much, but I mean, the Scouse guy's on quite a lot of money into it as well. So I don't know. I mean, they're out of contract. For me, it's criminal. Whoever makes the decision, Wilson or whoever, has let Kent and Morales go down, and if nobody comes, they'll probably offer them a contract, see whether they stay. But to let that go down when there was money on the table for Morales, definitely, or what we were led to believe. If that guy walks out the door for nothing, that's somebody's not got the job right there. But this is what we're in. We know that it could go. I don't know. So Lawrence coming back, he could be a good addition. But there again, I mean, how long's he practically been out all season, hasn't he? So, is that injury wasn't what we led to believe? Or the second one he got?
It's the second one. He done the second one in training.
Yeah, so, you got to see with Adji, I mean, I was surprised he extended his contract. Not that I've got anything against him. I can take him or leave him, but that's a full knee restructuring there, isn't it? You've got to see whether he could. I wouldn't have offered him a contract straight away. I think he had a couple of years left on it anyway. If he comes through it, then fine. Give him a contract and
commercial
good
decision.
For us,
Commercial decision.
I know, but I don't know. I mean, I'm old. I just don't see it as the way it is. But I get it all. I mean, the modern day stuff, and it's the way things are working all that I know. But I don't know. I mean, all I want to see is Rangers bringing in players better than what we've got now and taking us to where we want to get to. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no guarantee in football. We could sign, cracking players. There's no guarantee that it's gonna work. But we need to start putting in real strong players there that's going to run. Like he says, no projects, guys that are going to come stay into the team. So I presume that once these two guys get game time, I think they'll stay in the team. If they're playing well, obviously. I think that's the mind for it,
That's the thing. I mean, Cardwell started well. We can't judge Raskin, but we'll see where it takes us. And obviously, I don't know when you're thinking about Ben Davis. The minute you see him south side, he doesn't seem to get flustered, does he?
No, he's calm that, but I don't think he's overly commanding in the air, to be honest.
No, he's not the best you've ever seen.
And I think probably you probably have to toughen up a wee bit more, a wee bit more physical on the player when he's up close to him. But he seems to read the game well. He doesn't seem to get flustered. He's usually calm. He seems to be able to use both feet. I've seen him play a lot of nice diagonal balls, especially at Tynecastle when we were flipping them across to Sakala. He was involved in a few of them. He's looked comfortable. I just think that we probably have to get cover in there, Ox, as well, just because the chances that if we ever take an injury in there, I think Michael Beale might look for a left-sided, but he's playing really well at the moment, and with Connor Golston in beside him, Golston's starting to look as if he's getting on with his own job. So the two of them, in the last three games up to then, we had clean sheets, didn't we? So let's start to look positive and a good understanding.
All right, we've been joined by Big Al. All right, that big man.
Evening, gentlemen. All right, I'm good. It's great to hear the steam panel on the night, except for Andy and that Rocket. What's the Rocket's name again?
Is that a Fall Guy for Fallen?
Aye, that's a Fall Guy for Fallen. Are you losing any weight yet? No. Watch yourself.
I'm winning my battle with anorexia, big game.
Right, good on you. Great debate as usual, man. It's wonderful when I'm at my work, I'm able to wake up in the morning and listen to all your dulcet tones. Look, I think personally myself, I think we might or we should have got a few people in, but you don't know how the deals work in the background. I would like to have seen another couple in. And I think you've got to play there. It was actually refreshing seeing that Cantwell start that time to sign the player, because I remember the days we'd sign a player on the Wednesday and he'd be playing on the Saturday. Don't need to. You sign a good player, I don't think you need too much coaching or tactics or that. You just let the good players do their things. There's been a lot of debate over the past couple of weeks as well with this signing window. Like, we can't hang our hats on any of these players that are really there at the moment. There's no many, if any, I would give another contract to. So I think it has to be a total clear out. I did hear Portbear. Now I think Portbear's been snorting the gravy, because I heard him say another week there that he'd give Ryan Jack an extra year and maybe even another one. So have a wee word with me, have an intervention. I think he's off his rocker. So look, Ryan Jack, Scott Arfield, thanks for your service, but it's time to go, because as we've said in here for long enough, we need players to take us to the next level. That's all I kind of had to say, boys. We rant.
I don't think you're alone in the thinkings, but I think there is a possibility Ryan might get a year's extension, Big Al, but he'll become an automatic starter when he's fit within reason, and it's when he's fit. He'll be sliding.
But even when he's an automatic starter, but I don't think he takes us to the next level. I think that's you know what I'm saying, debate, big man. That's up for the debate, but also the fact we're going to need you just can't have 13 players, you know. No, yeah, I understand. You've got to have a squad, but that's where we can sign some newer players, but also maybe integrate some of the youth team into that. I know that's difficult as well, but it's just look, we can't afford, and we've been doing it for too long. We can't afford sentiment. I just want us to be winning consistently. You know what I mean?
See if Ryan Jack gets a contract, there's only one guy's decision it should be, and that's Michael.
Yeah. I understand that.
He'll live or die by the decisions, mate. Yeah.
Definitely. Look, I need to go because it's my fly-out day today. Just waiting for this. But look, thanks very much for taking my call. And Stevie, what was that I heard you earlier saying that you got a salad when you went into Edmondson House? Is there a pie?
Salad roll.
Salad roll. Nah, good on you, man. Great chat as always, man. Keep it going for the. Yes, sorry. Yes, Stevie.
Big Al, a League Cup final, it sticks in your mind.
Oh, it's not Stevie. Oh, you go away. I want to talk to Stevie. No, I'm kidding.
Big Al.
Nah.
Andy, you're going to have to teach that guy manners. It must be his surname that causes his problem because he can't conduct himself, yeah? Always good to hear from you, mate.
Aye, I need to go. I really need to go. But thanks again, gentlemen. He's a top drawer, man. Honestly, God, A1. All the best.
Cheers. Steve, in you come, mate. A man that always knows how to conduct himself.
After that comment about the salad, I hope it's Buddy Holly Airways he's getting on.
It's certainly no Aer Lingus anyway.
I think it's Glenn Miller.
But what's that?
You know, but aye, what I get big girls coming for Stevie, you know, there's no room for sentiments, but Michael, it's only one guy should matter. Obviously between him and his staff, but they'll come to a decision, yes or no, yeah, and they'll live or die by the decisions, won't they?
That's correct. Look, we all know you just went through it there. The New York's there are other players that's possibly going away. The wages that it frees up, but we've got to watch. We still need a strong pool of players. We need squad players, and as you said there, maybe Ryan Jack might become a squad player. You pick the best of what you're going to get ready and try and keep them squad players, don't you? And everybody else that's to come in's got to just go straight and name their projects. They've just got to go right onto the park and play. I know sometimes it's hard just to get players that can just hit the ground running, you know, and get in there all the time, especially when you're looking for some money. But aye, definitely, it's exciting times ahead regarding the squad and everything else. But I just wish people would listen to what we said at the AGM. The manager was asked, who is it that's picking the team? Is it your wee man Wilson or is it the managers? And they were told, both managers tell them, look, Ross Wilson must go. They must say to him, right, I need a defender. He gives them a list. There's the ones we can afford. Who you wanting? And they must say, go and see if you can get him. And he comes back, aye, he's doable, he's no doable, so pick what you've got left out there. That's what must be roughly what kind of happens there. Ross Wilson isn't signing the players, and we need to get rid of that. We need to drop that now. We've been told on 2 occasions with 2 different managers. It's gone now, Alec. So I would just drop that now. Beale doesn't seem to come across to me as in he would let wee Wilson sign players for him. He's got ways of playing. He's got players in mind, and he wants to he want to pick his own team basically, and he's got players in mind so that he can play them in a formation. So Wilson's not going to pick the players, so we need to drop that. But
if you've got a Wilson must go tattoo, you've got to keep beating that drum, ain't you?
Stuart Robertson's on it, I know.
Unfairness, Ox.
Maybe if people paid the full price for the tickets, I'd using the club with the more money, Andy.
Well, he actually come in and tell you himself, or I was going to be all over him like a ras tonight. He got in before me.
I think I'll be on to Stuart Robertson tomorrow to watch out for these people trying to skip in on Sunday, get him refused in the turnstile.
You could understand it if he did it if he was a wee guy, but the big fat guy like him, it's a bit hard to not spot him, isn't it?
Right, you mentioned debuts, right? We're going in the panel. Obviously, Andy, you go back to the 50s. We cover all the decades on you with the 50s, Southside with the late 60s and 70s, Stevie with the 80s, Alec with the 90s, and me with the 2000s. So we cover a lot of decades, right? Best debut, right? Stevie mentioned debuts.
Right.
Southside, best debut.
I'm covering that. I'll be Jim Baxter.
No, just whatever.
I don't. I can't even think. To be honest. Come back to me.
We'll come back to you. I'm not talking about that last year with Savoy, but right. Stevie.
Mel Sterling.
All right. Was that against Hearts?
Correct. Well done, officer. And for a further 2 points, how many goals did he get that day?
2.
Correct. Well done.
The other 2 goals.
Oh, can we go? I was about the price.
Kevin Drinkle.
Correct. Big drinks.
There you go. Andy?
George Young. No, Collinstein.
Oh, Collinstein. Good shout, mate.
Yeah, Collinstein.
Wally Johnson said they done all right for the first 3 games and then they done nothing. Right, okay. AK?
I don't know. I don't go to any games. You know that.
Fair shout. We'll go back to Southside.
Don't go to any games. Probably seen Brian Laudrup make his debut for the Rangers
against Fiorentina, and that was in the tournament, but his actual league debut.
His league debut, aye.
Right. Okay. People going about Kuznetsov. What about Dale Gordon's when he appeared on the scene Southside?
Dale Gordon?
Aye.
He played at Ellen. He played against Leeds, didn't he? Where people would probably remember that, would they?
He signed for Souness and scored 2 in his debut, didn't he?
Aye.
From Fairmont.
Aye.
Was Negri and Moles, did they not make an instant impact in the league?
Aye. Right it. Negri. Dundee right it 4 or 5 ago, didn't he, in the one game?
He scored 2 in the Hearts game, though, didn't he? Early doors in the league. I'm sure he scored 2 against that.
The big boy did not score a few in his debut.
Who's that against?
I'll check it.
Yeah, probably. I've got one, though.
All right, you've got one. Go on then. Let's see.
Tory Andrew Flo. I was at his debut, 5-1 against Celtic.
The big question is, who gave you the ticket?
I was a season ticket holder then, you cheeky bugger.
So he gave up his season ticket. So he chucked the Rangers, Southside, Imagine that.
Here, you know what's going to happen on Sunday, innit? He'll be 75 minutes, won't he? And he'll be out the door.
That was Robert Witherall there. He admitted he's some way loyal.
he would need to leave in 75 minutes because he doesn't know where the subway station is, Stevie.
Me, Robert's going to leave early to get his batteries plugged in for his apple tart, isn't he? He's going to... Brilliant. Me, Robert. I wish Stephen phone up. He's a good chuckle.
No, we've got bylaws. The three of them are allowed on at the same time. We'll let any two or three. We can have Mo and Larry on, but we can't have Curly on at the same time. Southside.
No. I've just got a vision because the last time I seen Andy had one. Remember you had the hat on, Andy?
Aye.
Every time you go on the show, that's the vision I get in my head. That hat that you had on that night.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Southside, I'll sooner take that vision than the ones I get in the WhatsApp.
Boy, did he score a hat trick. Had it sent through 2006 against Peterhead. Scored a hat trick in his debut. Aye. All right. I suppose Colin Steens is one in our history. Southside is obviously that run of games. He had 8 goals in 3 games. So it's fondly remembered, isn't it?
Aye. I think when we think back, and you're probably talking about people in their debuts, you probably try
Did McCoy still score against Dave in his debut at Parkhead? We lost the game, I think 2-1, but he was scoring about 47 seconds against them.
Yep, that's correct.
Davey,
I'll check that out.
I remember Davey Mitchell scoring against them.
You sure it was
Weston?
Kennedy?
No, Davey Mitchell did score against them that day. I think it was about 27 seconds, was it? No. But I know. I wasn't even in the ground at that point. But I was just getting in the ground, and the roar went up for the Rangers end, and I'm sure it was Davey Mitchell that scored it. So
it's all right to go in late, but it's all right, no allowed.
Listen, in the days the queues were bigger, weren't they? Because the ground was bigger. Aye, and the Eldorado had to be drank before we get in, because you had to take the pocket rocket Thunderbird in your pocket.
I suppose that was just gone straight for primary school then.
Who you?
No, you.
Are you boarding school?
I was approved. Right, I'm looking for McCoy's to see what his debut was. But okay.
Just we wrap up the show now. We
aye.
Talking about
I'll just get a couple of things before you go.
Just passing
have a nice Christmas, yeah.
No, I was talking about debuts who did have good debut. I think Andy Gorham had a few howlers the first few games, didn't he?
Aye.
Turned out to be a ledger.
I don't know if
Some
they
people
were. It was Hearts and Hips. I don't know if they were his debuts, but they were in right at the start of his career, Southside, weren't they?
Aye.
Yeah.
European
game or not?
You can always Super Ali, wasn't it? Super Ali, the player. I love him. What a wonderful striker and that. I think if you remember, Jermaine Bonacel played in the cup final.
Back.
Yep.
That was the 2-1 game, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
When, I think Mould scored that game, didn't he? I can't remember who scored the other one, but he
played left back. Don't think many people would have remembered he played in that cup final. Don't think he played many games and then he was in the cup final.
Good guys, do we go with Alan McGregor to the end of the season? Stop this chop and change the keeper.
I would.
Yeah, so would I.
It's going to be,
Anyway,
I think I've got to give McCrory a wee game when he's fit. You've got to give him some game time, I think.
Depending how the cup draw goes or the league pans out. Anyway, gentlemen, in AK, we've reached that time of the evening. Andy?
Yeah, listen, thanks for having us on. Like, really enjoyed it. Great chat and all that, and let's move on and take this team to where we're going to go. Great night. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Always good to hear from you. AK.
Pleasure speaking to you boys again. Southside and Stevie, even though Oxchair's back ruling with a big ding. But thanks for taking my call. Good show.
To hear from you, mate. You always take it in
Cheers,
good spirit, mate. Cheers, mate. Big Stevie.
Fantastic night, brilliant, good chit chat. Always a good carry on when we you and Southside get together. As far as the Rangers go, we're on the up, guys. We've opened Edmiston House, great training facility, best stadium in the world, and everything's on the up. Just be positive, man. Get behind the team. Be positive. Good times ahead. Oh, and get Big Lee's book bought.
What's it called, Stevie?
Belgrade to Buenos Aires. Football rivalries on a tight budget. It's a really good wee. It's a cheap and cheerful book. Take it aside of a swimming pool and get it Red Bells. It's a good season ticket holder. The boy's brand new, and a lot of great trips. Mainly Southside. Southside should bring a book out the amount of trips he's had.
So it was just to remind me of something. The swimming pool clean. Southside.
I thoroughly enjoyed the night, mate. Been on with Big Stevie, talking about the team that we love the most, the famous Glasgow Rangers. I don't know if I have to go to thank you or Alex Kelly for hosting the show tonight, but I'll keep to you, Ox, as normal, you know. Can't have these people coming in and taking over. Like to thank you for having us on. Enjoyed the chat and the banter, and won the Glasgow Rangers. Let's get into this next round of the cup.
Come on in.
Here. Can I thank Andy Felix for coming on? Can I thank Stevie and Southside for joining us? Anybody else? Right, okay. And of course, Kane for joining us. Listen, this has been Rangers Radio. Good laugh tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed it. James, be kind with your scores. Southside knows what I'm talking about. Everybody that's listening, take care. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, old school boy.
See them march on, marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, for the jersey they will do or die. Fight for time, play the game with the badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the last.